This episode is brought to you by the Denver Art Museum. Don't miss Untitled Artist Takeover at the Denver Art Museum this Friday. Join the museum from 6 to 10 p.m. for a Halloween art party. Celebrate Halloween with featured artists Mo Graham and Christina Maldonado Badhand during a night of spooky creative fun. Costumes without masks are encouraged but not required. Join local artists for spellbinding dance and music performances, spooky art-making activities, and fun throughout the museum for all ages. Untitled Artist Takeover is included in general admission and free for Denver Art Museum members. Buy your tickets today at denverartmuseum.org. That's denverartmuseum.org. Today on CityCast Denver. After making headlines for allegedly being involved in a big mafia poker scam, is Chauncey Billups no longer a hometown hero? Producer Paul Crowley and I talk sports gambling and Wynkoop being closed off to cars. Plus, we hear from listeners about their feelings on police drones and our spicy interview with Senator Michael Bennet. Oh, and stick around for a fascinating science lesson on CBD and sleep from our sponsors at Blue Sky CBD. Today is Tuesday, October 28th. I'm Bree Davies, and here's what Denver's talking about. Good morning, Paul.
Hey, good morning.
People might be able to see us.
Maybe at some point, yeah.
Well, we're filming, I'm just saying. Usually Tuesdays we don't film.
We're recording in a different place today. Yeah. I like it.
I kind of,
for the record,
love being here at Dude IDK, so it's like very chill. I'm into it.
There's a dog that might come say hi.
I wish Winnie would come over here, but she's pretty particular, which I understand. Really quick though, will you tell me again what you did this weekend? I just thought it was funny.
Went to a pumpkin patch with some friends.
Okay, but you acknowledge
some adult friends. Is what you want to talk about? Yes, Bree, you have an opinion about this?
I've never been to one without children.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what I would have done there if I didn't have kids.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we went in the corn maze. And
how did that work for you?
We got out.
Because you could see over the top?
No.
Okay.
No, the corn was taller than me.
Okay.
We had some cider. It was nice.
Nice fall day.
I feel like it's for like little kids and parents, and it's for like teens up to no good.
Somewhere to hang out.
Yeah.
Without
doing
parents, kind
mischief. It's one of those places.
I love that kind of place.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds nice. Well,
are you doing Halloween stuff?
Oh,
are you in trunk or treat?
You know it. Mile High trunk or treat at Empower Field this Thursday. It's a bunch of folks from my neighborhood, Far East Center people, and they do this massive. It's like massive. Like I'm terrified how much candy my son is going to come home with, because that's Thursday, and then Friday we do trick or treating, and we do it at our neighborhood, and then we go to Harvey Park where my sister-in-law lives, because they go all out in Harvey Park. Like people set up in their driveways and like kind of party, and everybody walks. It's great.
I love that.
It's Harvey Park knows how to do it.
My neighborhood, there's none of that. There's like a kids parade, and that's nice.
Which is a new addition. We didn't have that when I was a kid in your neighborhood. I love that.
It's nice. I'll really go and watch that if it occurs to me and I remember that it's happening. The trunk or treat, though, is that like, could I show up and get candy?
It's just like in a parking lot, and there's a bunch of like different businesses and people that set up and have candy, and kids walk around. But I don't imagine they would stop you. You could probably, can you borrow somebody's kid? I don't know.
No, that's frowned upon. They don't like when you do that.
True. I guess. I don't know. I don't think I would let someone borrow my kid either, now come to think of it. But
Shall we talk about the news?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, we talked about this briefly on our Friday show because basically minutes before we recorded, this big story broke.
Huge.
Related to one of Denver's hometown heroes. But it was the FBI had some indictments to announce Thursday morning.
Crazy.
For a bunch of basketball players and other people involved in this criminal gambling, sports gambling operation. And one of them was Denverite and now Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups.
Yes.
What do we know about this now, Brie?
Sure. So according to ESPN, prosecutors allege that Chauncey was recruited by this guy who was working in the mafia-connected world of gambling to essentially be bait for high-stakes poker games that were rigged. So he's called a face card. He was like...
Yeah. So if I'm a big rich dude and
like,
I'm invited to a poker game. I'm like, and then I hear Chauncey Billups is there, and then I'm like,
Exactly. And so he got a cut of the winnings from these games. But it wasn't just that was happening. The games themselves were being rigged by, this has been connected to the Cosa Nostra mafia, like X-ray glasses, X-ray tables, special shuffling machines, like real old school kind of rigged.
It's going to be a great movie.
Yeah.
When they do this.
It is. It was kind of reading it being like, is this for...
It sounds badass.
Is this for real? Like, this is... In the world of just like crypto scams and like things that you can't see happening, this is like a real old school rigged thing. Not like that makes it awesome or anything. It still sucks.
Makes it a little awesome.
It sucks. I mean...
The victims?
Yes. And like...
Of these mafia operations? I mean, these guys do violence.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. That was the scary part too, is reading about it was like they were roughing people up who weren't paying. And I'm sure it's much more detailed than that. But Chauncey was also, seems to be an unnamed co-conspirator identified in an indictment where he was telling another man that the team planned to intentionally, the Trailblazers planned to intentionally lose a 2023 game against the Bulls. He's not officially charged in that case, but he has sort of been identified as a co-conspirator based on the information out there.
The biographical details for Co-Conspirator 8 aligned with his biography.
Yes. Yeah. So some interesting things I thought, because the first thing I thought was like, why? You know what I mean? You've played in the NBA, you coach in the NBA. This is not... And it's a pretty well-paid profession. Like, you know, I mean, I know people get involved in these things for other reasons, but
also these athletes, there's a pattern of, you know, you're not always ready for the fame and glory.
Sure.
And then you get the big contract and you spend all your money. Like there's this famous case of a hockey player named Jack Johnson who, it's really tragic. This is an edge case, but he made millions of dollars, and then his parents were managing his money and they basically ripped him off and he went broke. And he had to play much longer than he wanted to, and he got injured, and really sad story, but he had no money, even though he was making millions.
Yeah, and that's kind of a universal experience for folks that maybe come up without money and then have this sudden influx. I mean, in the music world, I think the most famous case is MC Hammer, same thing.
Sure.
Grew up in Oakland, started, had this career that just skyrocketed. He hired everyone from his neighborhood to work for him and then ended up going broke. But so I looked it up, though. I was like, well, what was he making? And it says Billups earned more than $100 million over his decorated career and nearly $5 million a year as coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, and earned more than $22 million during his 11-year playing career. So, I mean, that's not nothing.
I was not curious about this. Rich people want one thing, more.
I guess that's maybe what I don't understand about it is like he put all of that on his whole career and his family and this legacy on the line for more money.
Yeah.
Oof,
I mean, we also don't know what kind of pressures he was under. We don't know what this money was for, why he got involved in this. There's still a lot we don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think there was this really great piece by Jason Quick, who's a senior writer for The Athletic, who's based in Portland, has been covering Portland sports for over 20 years. And he just wrote about his intense disappointment about learning this about Chauncey. He said he was this force of positivity wrapped in a smile who paraded around with unrivaled confidence and swag. For as much losing as he endured and as much criticism rained down upon him from fans, I guess Portland fans hate him, he was always upbeat. I never once saw him down. And it wasn't just that he was accessible and pleasant. His messaging was admirable. He spoke of accountability, teamwork, caring about things beyond yourself. I believed in him. I trusted him. I respected him. I just think that sums up a lot of what I feel like some Denverites are feeling
Tell me about that, because I didn't grow up with this guy. I don't really know his reputation. I just know people love him.
So he's different than like a John Elway because he grew up here. People knew him from the neighborhood. He was known as the King of Park Hill. He, I'm assuming because of busing, he went to my school, George Washington, which was not in Park Hill. But he was known at GW as this like force. He was like Colorado Mr. Basketball 3 years in a row. He just was like homegrown. Knowing somebody who's done something, whose career is this amazing, being somebody that you maybe went to school with or was in your neighborhood, it just like, it feels different. It's just like he was just a tried and true Denver guy. And I think that's why many folks, at least from the online chatter I'm seeing, just like people I didn't even know cared about sports texting me, it really meant something to Denverites that he was such a big deal.
So what's the tone of the response? Do you think, are we going to take him off the pedestal? Are we going to take down the statues?
Because we were talking, there's that picture of him on 16th Street Mall.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like right now folks are just kind of in shock. And then I think we'll see in the next couple of weeks or months how this plays out. But at this point, I just see people just being like, really? Like, this is real. This is real. And this person that we really looked up to is not who we thought he was. So I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I do want to say too, it wasn't that he was not without issues. The press covered, like in 1997, he was accused of sexual assault while he was playing for the Boston Celtics.
Was he convicted?
He settled out of court with the accuser.
Oh.
So, not a perfect person, just to make that clear. That was out there. But I don't know. It will remain to be seen what happens. This is just such a shocking thing for Denver, but also, I mean, the reverberation through the NBA. Just watching.
For the NBA, this is a hugely undermining.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you watch a game and not suspect that it's being rigged?
Which maybe you were already worried about that before. Sports betting is a wild place, and NBA players have been caught up in it before, refs, coaches. So
for the local angle on the sports betting, Colorado voters, very narrow. I looked up the vote. It was 2019, was very narrow, the approval of sports gambling, which also brought a certain percentage of the revenues for water infrastructure projects. Do you think if that vote happened again today that it would hold up? Would we keep it or would we repeal it?
After this situation, maybe
this
not.
Hits home.
Maybe not. I mean, also, we've been able to see other players get caught up in this that are not Denverites, but you see the impact of it on, I was thinking about MPJ's brother that was barred from the league forever. So because sports betting obviously has been legal in other places, it was happening. But the fact that it's in Denver, that's a really good question, Paul. I don't know.
Friends, loved ones, getting addicted to it, losing money.
I have a friend who's...
I know story. I've got stories.
Same.
It's hard.
I think that's why I voted against it as like a person in addiction recovery. It feels like something that is hard. If that's your addiction, it's got to be really hard that it's right on your phone. I just can't imagine what that's like. So I don't know. Ugh, such a bummer though. This episode is brought to you by the Arvada Center. Fall under the spell of Disney's worldwide phenomenon, reimagined for the stage. Disney's Frozen is a powerful tale of sisterhood, acceptance, and finding the real meaning of true love. Playing November 21st through January 4th at the Arvada Center. Bring the whole family to experience this uplifting winter adventure. Disney's beloved movie featuring Colorado actors and costumes, sets, and theater magic, all created at the Arvada Center. Okay, picture this. It's like Montgomery, surrounded by all the little girlfriends, Charlie, Juniper, Emmy, and Mirabelle, and they are all just full throat voice. Let it go, can't hold it back anymore. And he's just losing his mind because the girls love this. I think he secretly likes Let It Go the same way he secretly likes Pink Pony Club. Like, for some reason, he doesn't want anybody to know, and he's only 4, but I think he would, like, secretly, low-key also love going to see this show. This show is recommended for kids ages 4 and up. Tickets are available now at arvadacenter.org. That's arvadacenter.org.
This episode is brought to you by Denver Film. Because movie lovers across the city are getting hyped. It's almost time for Denver's biggest celebration of cinema, and you don't want to miss it. I'm talking red carpets, celebs, Hollywood moguls, exclusive parties and VIP events, and you can be a part of it. Honestly, I've always had a great time at Denver Film Fest. Not only do they bring out so many good movies that you can just show up to basically a random theater on a Tuesday night on a whim and see something interesting, but you also have a chance to dress up nice. Go out to a packed screening of one of the year's best, because they always bring the best. The Film Fest returns for its 48th year, running from October 31st to November 9th. They're featuring over 200 of the world's best new films, as well as all kinds of other great events. Choose your adventure and get tickets at denverfilm.org. That's denverfilm.org.
Okay, well, let's talk about another story. Let's head downtown, there's a couple different things happening downtown. Do you want to start, Paul, with the Wynkoop street situation?
Sure.
What's going on there?
I mean, it's been rumored for a long time. A lot of people have been working in the behind the scenes for a long time on this. But this week, all week through November 1st, the city is shutting down the 1700 block of Wynkoop, which is the street that's right in front of Union Station. But it's going to stretch from Wynkoop Brewing to that one intersection. And that's going to be shut down to cars.
It feels like it already should have. I think this is going to be great. Well, anytime I've been down there, either as a car or as a pedestrian, it is chaotic because there's a lot of folks crossing back and forth. It's a heavy pedestrian area, but it's also part of getting in and out of downtown. Yeah, I mean,
as Nancy Kuhn, spokesperson for the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, she called it the front door for Denver, and she wanted it to be a more welcoming front door. This is their project, as well as the Climate Office and the Downtown Denver Partnership. I'm interested in this.
That makes sense because isn't Union Station the living room? So I guess you just use that front door to get to your living room. What do you think about the calling it a front door? Do you feel like that?
Oh, I love it. This is my new favorite thing about how we talk about the city is it's a house. Union Station is a living room. There was an article a couple weeks ago from Business Den about the proposed renovations to Civic Center, and the article was like, in recent years, the park has also served as something of a front door to the city's challenges. And I was like, what does that mean?
That is
is Civic Center the front door? I don't know.
I don't know if I would call it the front door.
But I had a take that I wanted to share from because the mayor bought the pavilions, which is where there's a movie theater, there's a bowling alley, and there's the Coyote Ugly.
Yes.
And I think the pavilions is Denver's man cave.
Okay. I mean,
you got one of these?
As a person who's been 86th from Coyote Ugly, okay, sure. It's a man cave.
Have you been 86th from a man cave?
Yeah, I mean, I've been 86th from Coyote Ugly, so.
Oh, no, I mean
an actual man cave?
Like a friend. You bust in somewhere, see a Chauncey Billups jersey signed.
My brother had a men's den, and I was not allowed in there.
Men's den? That's similar. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about this. I think I said Glendale, even though it's not a neighborhood, is just the garage at your friend's house where their dad lets you drink beer and smoke weed. That's Glendale.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
That's on point.
Glendale feels to me. Yeah, it's just one of those like trends in planning and things where people start saying something and then everybody picks up on it. Now everything's a living room, everything's a front door, everything's a front yard.
Yeah. Aurora is your conservative neighbor with F-150 tracks in the front lawn. Is another one.
I could see that.
That's my take on that. Yeah.
I want other people's.
I do want other people. I got one more. Cherry Creek is Denver's walk-in closet. It's a pretty nice place to spend time if you can afford it.
That is a pretty good one. We're building a whole house here.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. We got a man cave, a living room, a garage.
There was another one that was like an official one. I talked to the new head of the ballpark, GID, and she told me that they're thinking about ballpark as Denver's front porch.
Okay. I don't know. I can't even picture that in relationship to ballpark, what they mean. They want you to hang out there? I
guess so. Like you hang out, you lounge, you drink a sweet tea.
Judge people walking by. I don't know.
That's part of the reputation they want to leave behind, I think.
I don't know. This is so strange. So strange. This episode is brought to you by Cozy Earth. It's cozy season, finally. Overcast days and crisp Colorado nights. And what a better way to stay warm than with Cozy Earth's Bubble Cuddle Blanket. This awesome blanket offers a combination of comfort and style with its distinctively textured bubble design intricately woven from ultra-soft fibers. Showcasing an extended plush pile and mid-weight construction, this faux fur blanket makes the perfect centerpiece for your living room or bedroom. I'm going to open this package of this beautiful blanket and Montgomery's automatically going to be like, "Hi, Mommy, that's for my fort." And he's going to have I can just see it now. He's obsessed with forts right now. And fort construction is all about amazing blankets. This blanket's going to be insane. Oh my God, we could put Christmas lights on it. It's going to be so cute. I'm never even going to get to use my own bubble cuddle blanket because my 4-year-old is going to turn it into his fort. Create your own little cozy universe in your living room or right in your bedroom with Cozy Earth's Bubble Cuddle Blanket. Head to CozyEarth.com and use my code CozyDenver for up to 20% off. And if you get a post-purchase survey, make sure to let them know you heard about Cozy Earth right here on CityCast Denver. Because your bed should be more than a place to sleep. It should be your happy place. Cozy Earth makes that possible. It's Tuesday. This is when we hear from you, our brilliant and hilarious listeners, about things that you care about, things that you've heard on the show that you want to respond to. We've got a voicemail.
Give me a second on the voicemail.
Okay.
I can do it.
Okay.
Hi, this is Nancy, and I live in Highland. This is for Paul.
Oop.
Paul. STAR stands for Support Team Assisted Response. And I get that many people would like to see more information about the program and how it works, but I would think it would be better if you would learn the name of the program before you wondered on air whether they were worth supporting with more money. So I have to also say, I'm biased. I have a relative who works for STAR. So anyway, just a tip. Love your show and keep up the good work. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Nancy.
Nancy got
Nancy.
Oof.
Thanks for calling in. I think you're right. I probably should have looked up what the name of that program was before we talked about it. I didn't know I was going to talk about it.
I also didn't either, and I was caught off guard. I was like, I know what this means. Not right in this on the spot moment. No.
Yeah, it's one of those acronyms where it's like clearly the words were chosen after the abbreviation was chosen.
The abbreviation, yeah.
STAR, you know?
A Star Van sounds great. Like I'm going to call STAR, like it works brand wise, but you're saying they put
support team
assisted
because they could have called
response.
it assisted support response team.
Assisted support response team.
Like asterisk. You can't have that.
No.
But support team assisted response.
But I do want to point to our episode many years ago with Carly Salen, who is one of the clinicians for STAR. We talked to her very early on in that program. So I'll put a link in the show notes. We have covered it quite a bit. So
you'd think I would know the name.
You would think. But Nancy.
Thanks for calling in, Nancy.
Put you on Front Street.
It was very funny. Appreciate it.
I'm going to read a text that we got.
Good.
Nice job with the tough questions on Michael Bennett. I didn't really know anything about him, but wow, don't think I can vote for him. Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
Do you have any thoughts? Any reflections on the interview with Michael Bennett?
I mean...
Senior senator / gubernatorial candidate, front runner, perhaps?
I felt like I was sitting there when this situation happened. You and I were interviewing him, and he got a little perturbed with something you asked him, and he used the F word.
Yeah.
In response, very sort of aggressively. And I felt like that scene in Uncle Buck where the kid is like sitting outside the principal's office listening to the principal get screamed at by Uncle Buck. And like, I was just sitting there nervous, like, I don't know how to respond to this. I don't know what to do when an elected official screams the F word. Like, it was very intense.
I mean, not just any elected official. This guy is one of the preeminent leaders of our state.
Who's running
and
for
has
governor.
Been for 15 years.
And who wants to be our next governor.
Yeah.
How did you feel about it, Paul?
Oh my God. When he cursed and raised his voice, my heart started racing.
It was intense.
Which, I mean, we talked to a lot of like influential people. That hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah, I was trying to remember when we've had anybody be aggressive like that.
I mean, the cursing, I've not heard him curse. Like I told him in the moment, I've never heard him curse before. He does have a thing with yelling, though. I think he's kind of realized in the last few years that this is a path towards like positive feedback from people online, people in the media. Because for so long, he was like quiet Michael Bennett. Like his whole first term, his first half of his second term, you really didn't hear anything about him. But then you started to see these moments, like he had one on the Senate floor. I think he was filibustering about like healthcare or something. And he raised his voice and he got really passionate. And people were like, oh my God, if mild-mannered Michael Bennett is raising his voice, things must be really serious.
Yeah. I feel like he got that way with when he got on something about Trump in our conversation. That's when you hear that turn on.
Yes.
That yelly part.
Yeah. He had a shouting match with RFK recently. That was another one of these. Like, I mean, in the moment when he was looking me in my eye and raising his voice and cursing, I hated it. I did not like it at all. But listening to the episode, I was like, I get why this resonates for some people. He has a very commanding voice. He is very confident. I get it. I get how this works for a politician.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't love yelling, but it was certainly something.
It was something.
If you have not listened to the interview, we'll put a link in the show notes. Do we have time for one more? You think we're done?
Yeah, let's do another.
Okay.
Let's do these next two. These next two are kind of a pair.
Okay. Text from Don K. I live in Lodo and was just listening to your episode about DPD using drones. I would love to see this, especially downtown. DPD continues to be understaffed, particularly on weekend nights. Using drones as another tool in the toolbox to respond to service calls can only be beneficial. I see no downside. I support Flock as well. Innocent people have no reason to worry about their civil liberties. Okay.
Interesting perspective. You don't hear a lot about this. The media, I think, right now is the vibe is very anti-Flock.
Yeah, also, if you're not doing anything bad, you shouldn't be worried about being surveilled. Does not feel good to me.
Why is he wrong? Or this person wrong?
Because that's this creeping towards authoritarianism when you're just giving up your rights because you're supposedly a good enough person that you won't be caught up in something. And I don't think that is what is going to happen eventually with America if we keep going down the path we're going down.
What do you think's going to happen?
I mean, we've already given up so much of our rights to surveillance. We've talked about this before on the show. I don't agree with it at all. I don't surveil my own family. I don't surveil my neighborhood. I don't have a Ring camera. You know what I mean? So I'm not for it. I also found it interesting that he said DPD continues to be understaffed, particularly on weekend nights. Does he work for them? Like, how do you know that?
I don't know.
I thought that was interesting. Well, we
should look that up.
Let's get to the second text, which is related to this.
I want to read this one.
Okay, go for it.
Hi, CityCast. I hope every police drone is shot right out of the sky with that bazooka. Thanks. This is producer Olivia was joking about a bazooka, bazooka drone battle.
I love this comment.
It's good. It's funny.
Well, we're going to be watching the Flock stuff. Again, we're talking to Mayor Mike soon.
Uh-huh.
We are going to ask him directly about it. We know we got so many questions about it. We sort of folded them all into a couple, but we will be following up on that for sure.
Stay tuned.
For sure. Again, if you have any thoughts or questions on previous shows, going back however far, we would love to hear from you. 720-500-5418. The CityCast Denver hotline is always open. Again, you can text or leave us a voicemail at 720-500-5418. Well, thanks, Paul.
See you next time, Bree. Oh, and stick around. We got a great sponsored segment. Bree did an interview with a scientist who knows about CBD from our sponsor, Blue Sky CBD.
Blue Sky CBD. If you have trouble sleeping, listen to this interview. I learned some really interesting stuff. Hey, it's Bree here with Dr. Dorninger from Blue Sky CBD. Hey, doctor.
Good morning.
Good morning. So before we get into all the products and routines, can you walk us through what healthy sleep actually looks like? Like, what's happening during REM and deep sleep, and why does consistency matter so much?
So what happens during your day is your whole body gets super inflamed from everything, from the diesel fumes you breathe in during your bike ride, to detoxifying your own hormones, to stress, to your boss yelling at you, to the workout you missed, to the overtraining you did, to the sitting you did. And at the end of the day, you are full of inflammatory cytokines. And what sleep is supposed to do is release melatonin and restorative growth hormones to help antioxidize, deflame the body, and literally rejuvenate, regenerate, and resuscitate all those cells that have gotten damaged and beat down over a long, hard day's work.
I feel like many of us are lucky to even get like 5 hours of sleep without it being disrupted. And I just wonder what's really behind that. Like, why can't people fall asleep and stay asleep anymore? Is it like stress, screens, all the above?
All the above and sometimes overstated. The number 1 and 2 reasons for not falling asleep and staying asleep is problems with steady oxygen and problems with steady fuel. Especially at altitude, sleep apnea is so underrated. And if your brain perceives low oxygen, it freaks out, spikes cortisol and adrenaline, known as norepinephrine, epinephrine, and kicks the melatonin growth hormone healing party out of your brain. The same happens with blood sugar, whether it's some Krispy Kremes you had before bed or too much red wine, or you've been eating seed oils all day and your blood sugar's off. You can also wake up your brain. And it's simply steady fuel, steady oxygen to make sure you have a non-panicked, restorative night's sleep.
Well, let's talk about the products. How does CBD or CBN help people feel calmer or fall asleep faster? What's going on in our bodies?
Well, the first thing is everything I'm going to tell you about is about cannabidiol isolate. It is not full spectrum hemp. It is pure CBD that all the literature I'm going to quote is on. And CBD, cannabidiol, is an uplifting productivity molecule. It helps you feel cool, calm, collected, focused, and relaxed. And that is part of the sleep formula to really bring down that inflammation after a long day. And that's about 25 milligrams of pure cannabidiol in the sleep gels. The CBN sets up decompression. So it allows your brain to uncouple from a busy day, the to-do list, and it says, hey, let's shift to GABA, your cool, calm, and collected molecule, and settle down. Now, THC and a glass of wine do the same thing, but they come with blood sugar problems at 3 a.m. that wake you up.
So for anyone thinking about trying CBD or CBN for sleep, what should they know going in? Do you have any tips or guidelines for someone who may be using this for the first time?
I'm a clinician at the end of the day, and it's about applying things to improve patient outcomes. And what we see is that it can take up to 2 weeks for the sleep gels to work. So you have these patients who go, oh my gosh, the first night I took a sleep gel, which is 25 milligrams CBD CBN, I fell asleep. It was incredible, and I woke restored. Some people, it takes up to 2 weeks. If you're on your second or third night of one Blue Sky sleep gel, then I tell people to trial 2. And what can happen is 2 a night for 2 weeks should absolutely show up on your iWatch and your Oura Rings and your smart devices. So the last tip is if you wake in the middle of the night, it's okay to take another sleep gel. If you have dogs or pets or kids, no one's going to get that injured from 25 milligrams of CBD or CBN, but I say keep it in the packet with a little scissor, cut the scissor open, take another sleep gel at 2, 3 in the morning.
Could you tell me a little bit about the quality of Blue Sky?
Yeah, so I was headhunted to work for Blue Sky as Director of Research and Development. And to be honest with you, I didn't know anything about cannabidiol. And patients would come in and ask me, as a leader in natural medicine, their thoughts. So I actually took the job to force myself to study all the cannabidiol literature. And I chose Blue Sky because it's a 0 THC, and I'm not anti-cannabis, but we wanted a non-THC product that government workers can use, that firefighters and police can use, who also need a good night's sleep, and will give you less tickets.
Especially,
to wake rested. Yeah. And it is 0 THC, third-party tested for purity and potency, which means the milligrams are 10% above or below on every final batch. And that what's in there is in there. It's actually just cannabidiol, MCT oil, and gel cap. And then lastly, cost per milligram. You're not going to find better value than the cost of the sleep gels for 25 milligrams CBD CBN.
That's awesome. Well, Dr. Dorninger, thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Thanks for having us.
And listeners, I can tell you, I've tried these Blue Sky CBD sleep gels, and they have noticeably improved my sleep. Visit bluesky-cbd.com and use promo code CityCast at checkout and try a 10-pack of sleep gels for just $22. We'll have a link to that in the show notes as well, so you're just a click away. Thanks for listening.
That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. If you enjoyed this show, why not take a minute to tell Chauncey Billups' lawyer about us? Rate the show wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe to our morning newsletter and learn more about us at denver.citycast.fm. And don't forget, the best way to support this show and get great perks is by becoming a CityCast Denver neighbor today at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye. Okay.